Tartartui Derby. Mikel Arteta questions Premier League rules as Arsenal faces battle to claw back. Liverpool-Arsenal's Premier League title hopes took a hit this weekend as they suffered a 1-0 defeat to West Ham at the Emirates. The loss left the Gunners 11 points behind league leaders Liverpool, who had secured a 2-0 victory over Manchester City earlier in the day. This defeat was Arsenal's second loss in the past 3 games, further deepening their struggle to keep pace with Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who have shown no signs of slowing down in their pursuit of the league title. Mikel Arteta's side, despite showing promise throughout the season, now faces a major challenge. With only 12 games remaining, their title aspirations are hanging by a thread. However, it is not just the result on the pitch that has caused concern. The Gunners have once again found themselves embroiled in disciplinary controversy, with another red card exacerbating their difficulties. In fact, Arsenal now leads the Premier League in red cards this season, a worrying statistic that Arteta believes is hampering their ambitions. The latest incident came during the West Ham defeat, when young midfielder Miles Lewis-Skelly was shown a red card in the 73rd minute. The decision was made after VAR intervened, advising referee Craig Pawson to upgrade an initial yellow card to a red for a foul on Mohamed Kudus. It was a turning point in the match, as Arsenal, already trailing from Jared Bowen's first half goal, found themselves down to 10 men, making it even harder to get back into the game. This latest red card brings the total number of sendings off for Arsenal this season to 5, with notable dismissals coming from Declan Rice against Brighton, Leandro Trossard against Manchester City, William Saliba at Bournemouth, and now 2 for Lewis-Skelly in just 1 month. The frequency of these red cards has led to criticism and frustration, with Arteta questioning the interpretation of the rules, suggesting that there is a shift in how red card offenses are judged. Arteta's concerns over the changing rules after the defeat to West Ham. Arteta did not shy away from voicing his concerns over the consistency of refereeing decisions in the Premier League. The Arsenal boss pointed out that it seems the rules are being applied differently this season compared to previous campaigns, creating confusion and frustration among both players and coaches. Yes, there are things in certain red cards that we could have done differently, Arteta admitted, even though now the rules appear to change again, and a foul is not considered what it was before. In some situations, it's very difficult for the players to adjust. When you ask a player why they made a certain decision, it's often a spontaneous movement or split-second decision-making that leads to the foul. It's very difficult to change that instinct. Arteta's words reflect the struggles many coaches face when it comes to adapting to changes in how the game is officiated. The shift in the interpretation of the rules has created a sense of uncertainty, especially for teams like Arsenal, who have had to contend with multiple red cards over the course of the season. While some may argue that these dismissals are a result of reckless or overly aggressive play, Arteta feels that the game is moving into a new era where certain actions that once might have been deemed yellow cards are now being treated as red card offenses. Arsenal's red card woes, Arsenal's discipline issues have become a central talking point this season. To have 5 red cards in a single campaign is a concerning statistic for any team, particularly one that is competing at the top end of the table. The disciplinary problems have been a consistent theme throughout the season, and the repeated sendings off have had a direct impact on Arsenal's performances. In the draw against Brighton earlier this season, Declan Rice was shown a controversial red card, leading to Arsenal playing with 10 men for a significant portion of the match. Similarly, in the loss to Manchester City, Leandro Trossard's red card was a major turning point, with the Gunners once again being forced to play with a numerical disadvantage. The dismissal of Miles Lewis-Skelly against West Ham was the latest in this troubling trend. Further emphasizing how discipline could ultimately derail their title challenge, Arteta, however, has been vocal in defending his players, stating that the red cards are often the result of spontaneous decisions made in the heat of the moment. He acknowledges that some of these actions could have been avoided, but he believes that the nature of modern football, with its rapid pace and high-intensity battles, makes it difficult for players to fully control their movements in critical situations. Nader. A season of struggles, despite the red card controversy and the setback against West Ham, Arteta remains proud of his team's overall progress this season. Arsenal's performance has been one of the surprises of the Premier League, as the club has shown significant improvement compared to previous years. At the start of the season, many expected Arsenal to be battling for a top-4 finish, but the Gunners have instead established themselves as one of the leading teams in the league, competing directly with Liverpool and Manchester City for the title. "I think we've made big strides this season," Arteta said. "Big time, because we should be in a very different position with everything that has happened. It's been incredibly satisfying to work every day with the players and the coaching staff, trying to overcome certain situations. If someone had told me at the start of the season that we would have had 5 red cards, with over half an hour spent with 10 men in each of those games, I would have been worried. Yet, we are still competing at the top." Arteta's pride in his team's resilience is evident. Despite the setbacks, Arsenal remains second in the Premier League and is still very much in the race for the title. The Gunners are only 11 points behind Liverpool, and with a game in hand, the gap could potentially be reduced in the coming weeks. The season is far from over, and Arsenal will be hoping that they can continue their strong form and make a late push for the title. However, Arteta's acknowledgement of the club's challenges also highlights the fine line that teams like Arsenal walk when competing at the highest level. The pressure to perform week in and week out, coupled with the added difficulty of navigating disciplinary issues, makes it a constant battle to stay competitive. Arsenal's ability to overcome these challenges will determine whether they can make a serious push for the Premier League crown in the coming months. Looking ahead, the fight for the title, with only 12 games remaining in the season, Arsenal's chances of catching Liverpool at the top of the Premier League are rapidly diminishing. While the Gunners have shown resilience in the face of adversity, the task ahead of them is daunting. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool has been in superb form, and the Reds appear to be pulling away in the title race. However, Arsenal has shown time and again that they are not easily deterred. Arteta's focus remains firmly on the next game, and he continues to drive his players to perform at their best, despite the setbacks. "We are here to win," he said, firmly. "We are here to win the next game, to win the previous 15, and to win the Champions League if we can. That's the objective. That's clear." The upcoming fixtures will be critical for Arsenal's title aspirations. They must find a way to address their disciplinary problems and avoid further red cards. Additionally, they will need to continue their impressive attacking play and solidify their defense to stand a chance against Liverpool's relentless pursuit of the crown. While the odds may be stacked against them, Arsenal's season is far from over, and Arteta's unwavering belief in his squad provides hope that they can still mount a serious challenge in the final stretch. Conclusion: Mikel Arteta's frustration with the Premier League's changing rules and Arsenal's ongoing disciplinary issues is understandable. With 5 red cards already this season, the Gunners have found themselves in difficult situations far too often, and this has certainly impacted their ability to maintain a consistent title challenge. However, Arteta's pride in his team's progress is clear. Despite the setbacks, Arsenal remains competitive at the top of the league, and with 12 games still to play, they are far from out of the race. As they look to claw back the 11-point gap to Liverpool, Arsenal will need to address their red card issues and find a way to perform under pressure. The next few weeks could prove pivotal in determining whether Arsenal can close the gap and make a push for the Premier League title, or whether their early season promise will falter under the weight of their own mistakes. Regardless of the outcome, Arsenal's season is far from over, and Arteta's leadership will be key in guiding them through this challenging period.